Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale. Up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed, plus free home delivery with the purchase of any smart bed. Ends Monday. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Searching for a romantic summer getaway? Escape with Rich Girl Summer, the new Audible original from Lily Chu. The exquisitely talented Philippa Sue, returning to narrate her 5th Lily Chu title. This time, Philippa is joined by her real-life husband, Stephen Pasquale. Set in Toronto's wealthy cottage country, aka the Hamptons of Canada, Rich Girl Summer follows the story of Valerie, a down-on-her-luck event planner posing as a socialite's long-lost daughter, while piecing together the secrets surrounding a mysterious family and falling deeper and deeper in love with the impossibly hard-to-read and infuriatingly handsome family assistant, Nico. Caught between pretending to belong and unexpectedly finding where she truly fits in, Valerie learns her summer is about to get far more complicated than she ever planned. She's in over her head and head over heels. Listen to Rich Girl Summer now on Audible. Go to audible.com/richgirlsummer.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, it's Diversity Focus Today, a weekly discussion bringing awareness to cultural diversity in greater Indianapolis and surrounding areas. Now, here's your host, Ricky Solid Gold Clark.
And welcome everyone to another edition of Diversity Focus Today. I'm your host, Ricky Solid Gold Clark, along with our team today. Of course, we got the lovely and talented Dr. T, a.k.a. Tammy Harris. And we got, of course, well, we can't say lovely, but we can say handsome attorney Mike Murray. Mike, look like you're getting a little bit grayer, man. Did you use some greasing formula?
Got the haircut.
Got the haircut. Okay. I'm sitting over here looking at you, and there's something different about Mike. He got a haircut.
Got the haircut, showing all the gray.
Oh, okay. And of course, we got our great producer, even though he's sitting over there, and our director. He came up with a joke a while ago about milk. We'll have to tell you about that later on, which I had never heard of. And I think I've heard of everything, but that one was a ringer. Okay. Anyhow, our program today is brought to you in part by Gino Shelton, who's having his 40th anniversary. If you don't know Gino has been a DJ in this market, now for 40 years, because come the end of September, as part of the Circle City Classic, he's having his 40th year anniversary with a concert, bringing in a lot of old school acts for that, and I'll have to remember some of the acts, but you'll see the commercial later on, plus a big comedy show on Saturday. So, Gino, thank you for being one of our sponsors for this program. So we appreciate you. Okay, topics. This program is dealing with some of the response that we've got from a couple of our audience people. And Dr. T has that information over there. She got to put her glasses on
reading.
so she can see.
This comes from John Forges. He comes from Florida. I don't know the city right now, but he's from Florida.
From Florida. Yeah, we're everywhere. See, we reach all over.
And he wrote his comment to us. I appreciate the critical lens your podcast brings to current Republican leadership, especially in holding Trump accountable. That said, I'd love to hear a shift in the conversation toward building momentum within the Democratic Party. Who do you see as the true Democratic front runners for the next presidential election? And what tangible accomplishments or strategies have they brought forward during this Republican-dominated period that could inspire confidence among voters? I believe it's time we rally around at least two strong, credible Democratic candidates, especially ones with clear command of foreign affairs. Also, how do you see the influence of the progressive wing shaping the party's overall ability to win in 2026 and 2028? Can the Democratic Party unify and win with such broad ideological spectrum?
That's interesting.
Yes.
That John,
Florida, too.
John Forges here in Florida.
See, our program reaches all over the world.
Thank you,
y'all.
John.
Thank you. I think that was a very salient and timely question because I think it's being asked by people all over the place.
Yeah.
Who are the Democratic frontrunners? Who really is going to have a real chance of upstaging the Republican wave that they seem to be trying to engineer right now? Yeah. I wonder it myself.
That's what I have to say. I started doing some kind of research and say, well, who is that? That's a good question. Because we get so tied up in trying to put out fires that turn into forest fires. I think that's probably another distraction tactic, not to focus on our own home.
Right. Okay.
What could we control and how?
Well,
of course, I think probably the obvious throw-in there is Kamala Harris. Will we see her back on the national stage? I saw that she was on Stephen Colbert's show this past week talking about whether she was going to run for governor of California.
Okay.
And I guess she put that idea out to pasture. She's not.
She's not going to do that.
But one of the interesting comments I thought she made was she said the system is broken.
Yes.
And she didn't want to be back in the system. Certainly, we all know the system is broken.
Right.
But I wonder, what does that mean? What does that portend for her political future? I thought she was a great candidate. I really liked her.
I did too. Well, we also have now Gavin Newsom, who cannot run again. He's the governor of California.
Yeah, he can't run as governor.
He can't run as governor. So, what's your thoughts on him, team? What do you think about?
I think he'd be a strong candidate.
I think he'll be a strong candidate in that he is holding Trump accountable and bringing light to what's being broken in the system. And his state is already big enough, I think, to support federal, something like that. His constituents there.
Fourth largest economy in the world. So that's,
you're right. So he has the means and the know-how to kind of run it financially and probably help bring it back up, I would think. And then Crockett.
Well, sticking on Gavin Newsom for a second, he's youngish. He's not 20-something, but he's younger than a lot of the candidates that we've seen on the national stage right now.
Yep.
So he's young. He's young. I think young women out there find him an attractive candidate, physically attractive. He speaks well. He's smart. I think
what about foreign policy? I guess that our listeners say. I don't know how really he deals with that.
Well, the governors of the states, particularly a state like that, have some international dealings in attracting business and dealing with international businesses in their states. I don't know what his credentials are to the fullest extent in terms of foreign policy, but he'll get it. Certainly the current occupant of the White House had no foreign policy.
So anything could be a step up in that.
And some would argue.
Even the cabinet, right?
Right. And I think some people would argue he still doesn't have any foreign policy experience.
Right. So.
Well, we got, so we have, whom else would one have? What about?
Crockett.
You mentioned Jasmine
Crockett.
Yeah.
Who's
she
the
has
congresswoman in Texas.
Right.
She has a lot of fire.
She definitely got, and the know-how. She's very smart, intelligent.
Extremely intelligent.
With law. And she's a
lawyer. That's her career.
She's a lawyer as well, so she definitely knows.
And everybody
policy.
knows lawyers are great, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
We know who got her vote, right? But is she too outspoken? Some people were saying she just talk, and
well, I mean, look at who we have as president now.
Right.
I mean, he was outspoken campaigning and saying all kind of crazy things, but obviously it worked for him.
Well, it's interesting to me that when we start talking about a woman candidate, people tell me, is she too outspoken?
Yes.
I mean, don't you want a president
to be divide president from that of gender?
Right.
She's definitely a qualified person.
Extremely.
I think as much as Kamala was in her roles as well.
All right. So.
And then who's the Speaker of the House now? That gentleman.
Oh, Hakeem. Hakeem.
I think
Jeffries.
Kind of.
That's certainly he was the one that Nancy Pelosi picked to take over her position there, and so he certainly has the charisma, has the knowledge, certainly has the experience being in the House for a number of years. So, we can't got to keep an eye on him as well.
Do you think they're united within Congress and supporting each other? It seemed like it was kind of divided in itself.
Well, I think he could bring it back together. I mean, him being the minority leader of the House, I mean, he's got the respect of his team, of course.
He hadn't been there all that long. I wonder if he would want to leave that position at this point to make a bid for president. He's first black Speaker of the House.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I mean, I think he's certainly capable, intelligent enough.
Yeah.
Certainly has a platform from which he could launch a presidential campaign, but I wonder strategically for the Democrats on the national level if they would want to move him out of that position.
Yeah, he's pretty powerful, especially if the Democrats get complete control of the House and the Senate.
Oh, we definitely got
His
to come back to
Right,
that.
right.
Conversation.
Tenfold.
And then Cory Booker.
Yeah,
Senator Booker in New Jersey. He was the one that staged the long talk.
Yeah, filibuster.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he definitely, he started considering it once before for a run.
Yeah, I believe he did.
I think he
done well.
Kind of, stuck his foot in the water to see how warm it was.
So it seemed like we're naming a lot of African American.
Yeah, I was just going to make that same comment.
I'm like,
well, we got.
I mean, they're the ones standing out right now.
Yeah, they're standing out. Well, you got Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah, I like. Yeah.
That's.
He's second. What is he?
He was Department of Transportation.
Yeah.
Secretary of Department of Transportation. Now he's just a citizen.
Right.
But I think I was told that he's thinking about perhaps running for a Senate office in Michigan.
Yeah, I read that as well.
Because he now lives in Michigan.
And Warren.
Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah,
But she still got fight in her.
She does have fight. She does have fight. So that's a possibility. What about the gentleman that ran as vice president?
Tim Kaine?
Is it
Walz?
Tim Walz.
Recently under Kamala, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, his name is still out there, and I thought he was a good vice presidential candidate.
He complimented Kamala.
Yes.
I think for that.
Right.
So.
And then if we look further, somebody who's not in politics, but who is a potential, who is a hellraiser, not locally, but, and I'm speaking of Stacey Abrams.
Oh, yeah.
She's
Atlanta, right?
Yeah, she's got a new book.
I was kind of hoping she would have done it before, actually.
She was on, one of the late nights, not Colbert, what's the other one? Give me some names. And not Jimmy. Chemicals. He's on vacation, but Anthony Anderson was the host, and she was on the programs talking about her book and then some of the things that she has put in the book and some of the things that she has done. So she's still, and they asked her, said, would you be considering, or would you consider another run for political office? She said, I haven't ruled out governor for Georgia. I've tried it twice. She said, third time could be the charm.
Right.
Because she was the, in the state legislature, she was a minority leader for the state legislators in Georgia.
Right.
So.
And she's a successful author.
Yes.
I've read a couple of her books.
The love, passionate novels. Okay.
So I think in answering the question from our viewer, our listener down in Florida, that would be, he is correct. We do need to start lifting up and seeing who is available and start talking more about what they're doing, since nobody has said, I'm going to run, at least not publicly.
Right.
Maybe you have to put an invite to our show.
Well, I know one other potential person that's kind of batted around is J.D. Pritzker, who's the governor of Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
Also a billionaire.
Okay.
He probably has a pretty good head start in some of those discussions as well. Okay. He can go head to head on everything the current occupant might have to say. And it seems like people were very influenced by the fact that the current occupant is supposed to be, wealthy, a billionaire, whatever. J.D. Pritzker can certainly hold a candle to that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Got the funds.
Okay. I forgot about him, but yeah. Is there anybody else that you can think of?
Top of my head.
Off the top of your head?
Pennsylvania Governor Shapiro.
Josh Shapiro.
Josh Shapiro.
Yes.
Yeah.
You see, Adam, you got value here. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 'Cause
I was duly impressed with him during
That's what I was
the
about to say.
Democratic convention
How
this
did we
past.
forget that?
Yeah, he was very, very impressive.
And I've seen him on several of the late night talk shows, and yeah, he is, and for the things that he's done in Pennsylvania, lifted up the entire state in so many different categories. You know, so yeah, that's that. Well, what is that? We probably named about 11 or 12 different people.
Right,
You know,
almost, yeah.
that, and there may be some other surprises. People just kind of thinking about it.
Right.
Now, I wonder what other factors are really going to play: gender, race, wealth, location within the country.
Yeah, I was just thinking the way it's crumbling now, it could be anything. It could save anything right now.
And now we got to take a break. Thank you for Geno Shelton's commercial. His big anniversary 4th coming up.
DJ Gino presents The Funk Fest, Friday, September 26th, with Doug E. Fresh. The Funk Fest with Confunction. And it's all the way live with Lakeside. There's more with Midnight Star, plus Al Hudson and One Way. Then September 27th, it's the Classic Comedy Jam. 2 shows at 7:30 and 11, starring D. Ray Davis. Plus, Just Hilarious, Earthquake, Tony Roberts, and Amber James. Get tickets at the box office and Ticketmaster.
And now we're back from the break. And so we were talking about the potential Democratic candidates that may run for president. We're just throwing out names. Plus, we're going to talk about redistricting in this particular segment.
Otherwise known as gerrymandering.
Gerrymandering, yeah.
How did
And
that
you know
name come about?
there was a guy, and I found that out too earlier today, that the name gerrymandering actually comes from an individual who began to do that years ago. It kind of blew up in his face, you know, but he's the one that started it. I want to think that it started in someplace on the East Coast. I just got somewhat of the bits and pieces of it, but that's not. I mean, that's an actual gentleman's name who's tried to do that, and it just. He was going well for a while till the people got wind of it, what he was doing, and it just blew up.
Right.
Boom.
Of course, it's blowing up now down in Texas right now with what they're trying to do.
Right. Warrants and yeah.
Yeah, so in case anybody hadn't heard, the Democrats in the Texas legislature left the state in order to prevent a vote by the GOP-controlled legislature that would result in gerrymandered districts, voting districts, so that they could basically claim 5 more seats in the U.S. House of Representatives, which is a clear bid for the Republicans to hold on to power by any means necessary and insulate President Trump, the current occupant of the White House, from any kind of investigations or accountability by Democrats in the second half of his administration. And I read in the news that J.D. Vance is on his way to Indianapolis today to meet with Governor Braun to talk about redistricting here in Indiana.
Okay.
Yes. Unfortunate.
Had to do that. You know, call.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Well, we need to. People need to become aware of that. You know, gerrymandering political districts is one thing, because they're doing that to a lot of the neighborhoods throughout the country. So if that's what gerrymandering means, to come in and just redo everything, even if it's not fair. And normally they don't do that sort of thing until after the census. That's how it's all normally done. So
I think one of the senators was trying to put in a motion to stop that, or to try to determine when it should happen, and not definitely in the midterms.
Yeah. Right. Well, they're clearly aiming at these upcoming midterms, and it's a clear bid, as I said, to keep power and to protect the current occupant of the White House from accountability. And unfortunately, I think the John Roberts Supreme Court has kind of cleared the way for this kind of stuff to happen. Right. There was a decision in a case, Rousseau versus Common Cause, I think. It was a 2019 case where Chief Justice John Roberts, kind of swung the court to say that it was permissible for state legislatures to draw or redraw lines that favored one political party over the other. That has kind of been a reversal of years of Supreme Court decisions and years of jurisprudence that basically said you have to draw lines, in common sense ways around districts and, considering physical geography and things like that make sense. So now these folks can draw lines any way they want to, in order to favor one party over the other, which really, in my opinion, it makes a whole game. It makes
and it's gonna
a joke out of how this thing goes.
And then I had also mentioned earlier that even if they redraw, we still have the right to vote or change our vote of who we want to vote for, so they can redistrict. But if we are American, citizens, we are smarter than that. We should know this is not right, this is not fair, and to just vote what is right, whether it's red or blue. They can try to get those 5 seats, but if those flip to blue, then what are they gonna do? So.
But what they're gambling on is, the current environment is highly partisan. People go, red or blue, and they're counting on people to stick to their parties regardless of what those parties are doing, regardless of what the leaders of those parties are saying, doing, and how they're acting. And so it's a power grab.
And I think it's a distraction. So Epstein, throw it out.
Right.
Epstein.
Definitely.
They're trying to get those votes back from maybe who were,
Right.
But no, your morals know what's right. So it's a distraction, I believe.
But remember, the current occupant of the White House is a person who said, I could go in Times Square and shoot somebody and they'll still vote for me. So this person feels that he is untouchable, and I guess we're proving him right because nobody's holding him accountable.
And so Newsom saying that they'll switch theirs in other states.
Gavin Newsom, governor of California.
And they're one of the biggest, we said, constituents are part of funding.
Yeah, some of the democratically controlled state legislatures and governorships.
So he can gain just as many more or less if he.
Well, they're talking about doing stuff to counter what states like Texas are doing.
But they're trying to blame it on him because they're trying to say because he did it, but he didn't do anything.
No, they just.
So they just
But people have to be a little bit more intelligent than just accepting these sound bites that partisan leaders are throwing out there.
In case in point with the flood, they tried to put this provision in when they're supposed to be talking about flood release. That's relief for
That's political gamesmanship. They play these games and pull these tricks in order to try to get their little things through without the people paying attention to it, without people noticing and taking up arms or raising up voices about those kinds of things. They do think people are stupid, and if if we let them get away with it, I guess we kind of prove we are stupid.
Well, the majority of who?
Can't do that. But we'd also spoke about the potential Democrats that could be potential candidates or extremely, let's say, strong Democrats. We talked Gavin Newsom, of course, the governor of California. Mike, you mentioned about the governor of Illinois.
Yeah, J.D. Pritzker. He's a Democratic governor and a billionaire who can certainly take on the current occupant of the White House point for point, because people seem to think that the current guy has some merit because he's rich, because he's been successful in business, although there's quite a bit of debate as to how successful he's been in business.
Well, he's been bankrupt 5 or 6 times, so that's not a sign of success to me. If you've been bankrupting your businesses at least 5 or 6 times,
Well, some people would say it's an effective legal strategy where the law allows you to do it. Why not do it?
Yeah.
But where you don't get is, you fail to pay people that
Yeah.
should be paid. You fail to honor commitments. You use the legal system as a cudgel. You beat
Right.
people over the head to force them into submission because you've got the money to spend and they don't. That's not really how the American system is envisioned.
Yeah, well, and he's not the only one. Although I just happened when you brought that up, the fact that Elon Musk has been sued by a number of smaller vendors, small businesses, because he hasn't paid them, and some of them have had to go out of business or bankrupt because they weren't getting paid. That has surfaced here recently, that he has done some of the same things that Donald Trump has done.
Birds of a feather.
Stick together. So, who else do we have that could be? We got less than 5 minutes. Democrats that we need to keep an eye on.
About Crockett.
Jasmine Crockett out of Texas, a congresswoman out of Texas.
And Jude Jetterberg. What is his name?
The governor of Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Or Josh Shapiro. Yeah, Josh
Okay.
Shapiro.
Cory Booker out
Cory
of
Booker
Jersey.
out of New
Jersey.
Mm-hmm. He was the one that staged the filibuster.
Right. Yeah.
Spoke.
Yeah.
Had a record.
To much applause.
Too much.
Who's the Department of Transportation?
Oh, Pete
Buttigieg. I said that.
Buttigieg.
Yeah. So, and of course, everybody would love to get who?
Who did you say, Amy?
AOC.
Oh, yes.
Yes, AOC.
Yes. She would probably catch a lot of Hispanic votes there too.
Yeah.
Like even if they redistrict, because some of the things, towns in Texas, I heard with the new line is Hispanic.
Well, AOC's in New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's a congresswoman in New York. So
well,
yeah.
they can still gain the votes.
So that want to keep that in mind. So we got 2 minutes. Two minutes.
So free speech, free voice on entering questions and comments on our show.
Yeah. Tell them where to go. Again.
Facebook.com, that's Diversity Focus Today. And then on YouTube, Diversity Focus Today with Ricky Clark.
Okay.
So subscribe and like. Then we have our GoFundMe that is offering opportunity to be that voice for you. So you can check that out on both of those stations as well as All Indiana Today podcasts on Wish TV. And
like us.
Yep.
Subscribe,
follow, set comments, do it all. And we appreciate those from Popona Beach, Florida. And Phoenix,
Arizona.
Keep it coming in.
Mikey said we have somebody in Germany.
Germany.
So we're all over the world. Advertisers, sponsors, come join our team to get your message across the entire world.
And you have your saying is?
My saying is, remember it takes both black and white keys up a piano to play the Star-Spangled Banner.
Yes.
Hoorah.
And then I would say, with that thought in mind, we now have to bid you a farewell. I do believe. Is it time?
Yes.
I saw him do the close, and I seen him do the stretch. So I don't know if I'm closing or stretching, but whatever. We got to go.
All right.
We'll see you next time around. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is Diversity Focus Today with Ricky Solid Gold Clark. Watch Sundays at 1:30 a.m. on Wish TV. Be sure to like and subscribe to this podcast and check out other great podcasts on the All Indiana Podcast Network. Online now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.